Hello everybody, welcome back to Doing Bart Things. And what I thought I would do is real quick have as best to look around with my phone as I could on this here Lian lancool 207. Basically, I don't know, it might be my new go-to case. The price is 80 bucks. It comes with 4 fans pre-installed. There seem to be decent quality fans. I guess what I'll do is kind of go up front around top here. So one immediate thing that stood out to me is cases in the sub $100 category down into the 40s, 50s, $60, even $80. Up until recently, it's all been like just what's it? Perforated panel, top panel that was on the case, and then some filters, right? Or a filter. This is actually mesh. This is a metal mesh top with, it's a panel. And you basically pull it away, right? So come back here, you look at the back of this. You can see it's got a lip right there. You just pop it off. Pull it away. You do have room up top for a 360 millimeter AIO, which I will be putting one in this case. On the front, we have, again, these 240 millimeter fans and more mesh. And this is just like magneted on there, I guess. Comes right off. It's not horrible quality. It feels decent. You have 240 millimeter fans. You can kind of see the infinity mirror effect on each one of these, and they're 30 mil thick fans. The side panel glass pops off. Something I really like that I noticed was this like felt right here. Really gives it like kind of a quality feel as you're building it. And again, this is an $80 case. I did not expect that attention to detail, which, I mean, Lian Li's just doing a good job with some of this, for being honest. The lower vented mesh side panel here, if you just unscrew it, hey, and it works without a screwdriver. That's awesome. Sometimes the first time you try to do some of these thumb screws, they're like impossible without a screwdriver. I think it just slides, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, so it just slides, pops off, which exposes the lower basement. And you can see this is a little bit weird, like the power supply actually mounts over here, which is great, by the way. I like that. I've said so before. Another video just looking at this online that I thought that was a good idea. If we go around to the back, as I just rip all the panels off of this thing, you can see down here, this is some more mesh venting. Come up here, back panel just pops off as well, right? You can see sort of underneath here, like your power supply actually goes over here. All the cables come up this way. This motherboard tray is recessed towards the back panel. And yeah, so very cool. And you got your stays there, or your cable management Velcro straps. These are not bad. They're actually pretty big. Some room there. Kind of do some stuff. That's good. Down the bottom, you got your accessory box. If this just comes out. Hey, I can undo this one too. That's surprising. Sometimes you gotta get like a screwdriver after these thumb screws. They tighten them down from the factory so hard sometimes. That's really interesting. I don't expect little tackle boxes with $80 cases. That's pretty good. That's not bad. Okay, so feels decent. Now the panels feel super uber cheap. You do have a USB port on top. You can see the plastic around this, the bezel, doesn't quite match, you know, the metal. I mean, 80 bucks, guys. This is under highlight. You know, normally your eye is not going to immediately sort of detect that. I think it looks fun. You know, it looks totally great for an $8 case. You know, it's going to flow air really well. Gamers Nexus did a review, and they found that it was quite good for airflow. And I see nothing here to tell me otherwise. Yeah, no, it looks really good. What are the upsides of this? I think airflow is a massive upside of this case. I don't think it looks like an $80 case. I think it looks, you could, for most manufacturers, if they were to sell this at 100 bucks, I don't think anybody would bat an eye. I really don't. I think people are like, oh, well, yeah, it's a $100 case. Lian has gotten this price down to 80 bucks, I think is really pretty aggressive. And good on them, you know. The case market has been heating up. They're trying to stay ahead of the curve. Well done, is what I say. The size of it is good. It's okay. So Lian markets this as a smaller enclosure, one that is like micro ATX in size, but can handle all the full-size components. I disagree with that a little bit. This is a mid-tower, okay? It's a mid-tower case, but it's a slim kind of mid-tower case. It's a bit wider than my Fractal North, but it's about maybe an inch longer and an inch shorter, okay? Compact, yes. Does it make really good use of its space? Yes, it does. Is it a micro ATX case? No. That's what I would say. I know they tried to like build that up as but it's not. It's a slim case. It's one that really surprised to know that you can fit a 360 AIO in the roof handedly. That's surprising. You know, or I shouldn't say surprising. It's really cool that you can have something this size and do that. But it's still a mid-tower, right? It's still kind of what you'd expect from the size of a mid-tower case. I don't really see that. The other advantage that I think is really good, this is a main selling point of this case as far as airflow is concerned, is this this panel right here. Okay, so we'll put this back on real quick. Now do it one-handed. I can do it one-handed. Wow, I'm talented. All right. So if you look here on this rear panel, you can see the mesh, right? You can see the mesh on the side here. This is open in the back, which I'll get to this in a second on, I have a negative thought about this, but I'll point out in a second. This plus this, oh, knocked it off, plus this, and then this open back with no power supply in the way, because the power supply is up here, right? That's where this power supply goes. That's what this cable's for, is to plug your power supply into. I think that's where you get your temps from. This is going to be excellent for video card temps. These fans are completely unrestricted. They're going to pull air through these vents with plenty of clearance down here, up into the main chamber, right into the fans of the video card. It's really a slick design. It keeps the size of the case in check, allows you to fit a 360 millimeter AIO, and also get really good cooling in addition to that compatibility. So I think it's really good. You know, like, I don't really have anything to complain about that in that direction. Now, what are some potential gripes? We're going to build in this. I've got some stuff stacked up over here, as you can tell. But I would say one concern right off the bat is this. So the power supply is going to go in here. You have cables that are going to face this way. I've got 150 millimeter PSU. routing those cables up here could get kind of interesting, you know, because they're going to be pointed straight at the side panel. Lian makes what they call their edge power supplies, which have the connectors flat. It's supposed to be in a dual chamber case, but I could see where it might be handy here as well. So something to keep in mind. You know, if you're building in this case, I would not go over a standard size power supply. 140, 150 millimeters probably is where you need to be. 160 is going to get kind of problematic. I would not use anything bigger than that. So that's one thing I would say is kind of a limitation. The other thing I would be concerned with is mesh is fine for dust filtration, okay? It's not the greatest. You're probably gonna have to clean things off once in a while, but it's fine. This back open part here though, probably isn't. This should have been more mesh down here, because this is where those fans on the bottom here pull from. And I think that they could have either blanked this out, or they could have put more mesh here. I think would have been the right call versus having this just open. I know why they did this, because, well, I mean, air goes through it, like it's great for that. But this is just, they didn't want to pay, I think, to change the patterning on this panel from this to like a mesh, right, to this. So that's kind of another downside. I guess if you're just super anal about dust, you know, you really don't want dust intrusion, maybe this isn't the case. Or, you know, mod it. Cut you out some, heck, just cardboard. Like, just cut you out some cardboard there to this size, go inside the case, put it up against the rear panel. I mean, you can mod this. This is not hard. Anybody with some scissors, a little bit of time, you know, get you some material of some sort, you could absolutely fix that, right? But it's up to you. It's not a big enough deal for me to stop what I'm doing, but you know, if it bugs you, then you could fix that. Or maybe this isn't the enclosure for you, because this is an airflow centric enclosure. Dust filtration is not its main objective. We'll just leave it at that. So what do we think? Conclusion. Well, obviously I've got to build in it, right? Which maybe we'll make a separate video out of that and post that at a later time. I'm a little bit strapped for time, so I can't be stopping down too much, because I want to make several videos, hopefully me constructing some of this. So having torn it apart and looked at it, I mean, it feels decent quality. Nothing is flimsy. Airflow is going to be great. You know that. I don't think it looks bad. It doesn't look like an $80 case, you know? Again, if someone sold this for $100, I'd be like, yeah, it's worth it for $100. It is, I think, not bad to have as a go-to standard recommendation for a case. Maybe even slightly better for a base case recommendation than even the lancool 216. That is blasphemous, I know, but hear me out. That extra $20 can go towards something else. You don't need to monkey with anything in this case, really. I mean, the fans are there, they're already wired. It's compact enough that I'm less concerned about it fitting in certain spaces that someone may need than I am the 216. I think it's more subdued looking than the 216 a little bit. I don't know, RGB might be, you know, we'll see about that. So I don't know, like, I'm really on the fence. I think $80 to $100, depending on what your budget is. I mean, I go back and forth between the 216. Obviously the 216 is a better overall case. It's a better overall value if you spend $100, $110 on your enclosure, right? But I mean, for $80, I don't know, it's hard to argue. It really is. Sort of does everything you need to do. Maybe I'll find some crazy things I'm building, like, oh, that's not great. But I think I've got a clear indication, just having torn this apart, of what's gonna happen. So anyway, well guys, that's it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. So again, 80 bucks, not a bad buy, I don't think. If it goes on special, geez, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what else you pick besides this. Yeah, I mean, unless your budget is just so restricted, like you gotta stay below 50 bucks or something, this is probably a great option. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll be talking to you the next one. Hopefully I'll have this like constructed and you guys can see maybe what the final product looks like then. Talk to you on the next one.